Good morning.
Good morning, teacher. How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
Oh, nice.
How was your
And you?
weekend?
Good. And you?
It was great too. I could rest.
Nice.
And you, could you? Could you rest a little bit?
Yes, I went to the beach.
No way,
all week,
really?
yeah, all weekend. So yesterday we
Wow.
arrived to my home.
Nice weekend. A lot of
And you?
fun.
What do you do?
Well, basically on Saturday, I just stay home. My
Okay.
husband is sick, so we didn't go out. But
Okay.
but the weather was great. I mean, on Saturday it was very fresh. Sunday was hot, but I could stay
Oh,
relaxed at home. So yeah, it was nice.
nice.
And what beach did you go to?
And let me see. Let me see. El Pimental. It's a
Oh, some people say that that is one of the best here in El
yeah.
Salvador.
Yeah, the sea. It was a little bit um yeah terrible because we could not swim in the sea, so we had to stay in the pool.
But why didn't you swim?
I swim, but in the pool. But I
Uh-huh.
wanted to swim in the sea, in the beach, in the sun and all that, but the sea was a little terrible. Uh,
Oh, it was
now,
like strong and all those things.
so it's dangerous. So we didn't.
That is the one that is in San Luis, I guess. I think that's the name of the city. It's in La Paz, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, but at least you could rest,
yeah,
and it was
totally.
nice. Okay, good for you, good for you. So you are ready to start this week.
Yeah,
That's excellent. Hello, Arismendi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
Morning, welcome to the class. How was your
Thank you.
weekend?
Great. Excellent, I think, because I rested
That's
a lot.
great. Okay, so you are ready to start today's class.
Yes.
Excellent. Very good. Okay, guys, I'm really happy that you could enjoy your weekend, that you could rest. That is important. Remember, always try to take time to relax a little bit. Now, today is Monday, and basically, guys, we are starting the week number 3. Okay, so time flies a lot.
yes.
And how is the platform going, guys?
I did. I don't remember. Well, no, I didn't remember that I left my progress in 46. So I have almost the 50. So right now I'm doing it.
Yes, look at this. So far, so good. I mean, I could see some people got 50, and that's great. So look, most of people got the 50. That's great. That's great. Let's see the next ones. There are a few people under the 50%. So yeah, there you are. But so far so good. I mean, if you see there are few people under the 50%, guys, so the ones who got it, excellent job. If you don't have the 50%, try to reach it during these days. Remember, the idea of the platform is that you can work on it little by little, okay? Like every single day you can practice a little bit in order that you can practice the topic that we studied here in the class, okay? So don't forget, please, to work on the platform. I know that you have a lot of things to do. So little by little, okay? Now, we are going to study a new topic. Oh, and by the way, yesterday I saw that you were helping each other to resolve some of the exercises. So thank you, guys. Thank for helping each other. I didn't read the messages yesterday because, I mean, as I mentioned to Paola, My husband was sick, so we went to the doctor, and I didn't check the WhatsApp groups until today in the morning. So I'm sorry for that. But thank you so much for helping each other. Remember, you are a team, and that's the idea, right? That everybody learn together. Okay, so we are going to start today's class. Can you see the presentation, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so today is the class 11. This is the unit number 3, and today is June 26. We are about to finish this month, so definitely the time flies. Now, before starting the topic that we had for today, I have some questions for you. Have you ever regretted something you didn't do when you had the chance? What do you think, guys?
Yes, absolutely.
What happened?
Well, and I would have liked finish my English course when I was a child, when I was 15 years old.
Mm. All right. And why didn't you finish it?
Because in that year, in that moment, I was like in my last year at the school.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was 17 years old. So when you are in your last year at the school, you have the party, promotion party, the final party, and the graduation, and the committee. So I was on that committee, but
Ah.
I didn't have time. I didn't have time to my classes, the committee promotion, and my classes. So I take the worst decision in that because right now I would have preferred uh,
Oh my gosh. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello.
hello teacher.
I'm sorry. I mean, the lights went out. I'm sorry. Can you everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. I'm sorry. Okay, so Paola was saying that she didn't make the decision that she should have, right? Who else? Oops. Who else? Anyone else? Have you ever regretted something you didn't when you had the chance? There is something that you could do, but you didn't? Yes? No? An opportunity that maybe you didn't take? A decision that you didn't make? A job that you didn't take, for example, or the opposite, maybe an action you did that maybe it wasn't the best idea. For example, a job that you took and you didn't like it. What do you think? Have you ever regretted about something in the past? Uh-huh. Everyone? Yes? No?
Yes.
What happens? Tell us.
In my case, I would have liked to learn English from my early years because every summer my mom told me, you need to learn, you should learn English. And you,
Yeah.
no, it's my vacation. No.
And you know, that happens. And I think that when we are younger, we learned faster, right?
Yes.
And now you imagine you have to wake up earlier, you have to work,
Work.
you have a lot of things to do. Exactly. But in that moment, we don't consider that. Okay, sounds good. Now, have you ever imagined, guys, how your life will be different if you weren't born in this country? Imagine that you were from United States. How your life will be different. What do you think? Any idea? Imagine that instead of were from El Salvador, you were from the United States. Do you think that your life will be different? Do you think that you will be doing something different right now? What do you think? What would you be doing right now if you were from the United States? Obviously, you weren't studying English right now, right? Because, I mean, you will learn the language before. So how your life will be different? What would you been doing? What do you think? Any idea?
The same, but earning more.
Doing the same but earning more money. That's a good point. That's a good point. What else? Do you think that you will have the same job or will you have a different job? What do you think?
I'm not sure, but maybe my style life would be different.
In a positive or negative way?
Mm, maybe in a positive because in United States the style life is too fast. So they have too many things to do, and well, there are many people in that country. So, for example, in New York, oh my goodness, you have to walk fast because the people can be push you in the street. It's more as accelerate, I think.
It's basically they are always in a hurry, right?
Yeah,
They
in
are
a hurry.
always
That,
running.
yeah. So I
That's
think,
true.
yeah. So I think that uh, that's the things uh, the people from United States like about El Salvador. Is more relaxed in our country. There are not many people like in United States. So
Mm-hmm.
in even uh,
Uh-huh. Even I cannot hear you anymore.
I'm sorry. Los hermanos lejanos, I was saying that they buy houses in El Salvador to to be on vacation
That's
here.
true. What happens is that here in the country, they feel that they can slow down their lives, right? At least for a
Yeah.
moment. That's true. That's true. Now, imagine, guys, that you were born in China or in Japan. How your life will be different. What do you think? Uh-huh. Any idea? What languages will you speak? What will be your job? Would you be happier? Would you be healthier? What do you think?
Probably most of us will be working in a factory.
Yeah. Would you earn more money or less? What do you think?
Unless
Those are very difficult countries, actually, right? People work until they die, basically. So, interesting answers. Now, do you remember when you were child? I mean, when you were kids, when you were younger, do you remember what did you want to be as a child? Do you remember what occupation you wanted to have? Uh-huh.
I want to be a tennis player.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
what happened?
Ah, serious responsibilities of the life.
Okay. So imagine if you have followed your dreams as a child, you will be a tennis player. Interesting. And you guys, what did you want to be as a child?
I want to be a ballet dancer.
Oh, that's nice. And what happened?
Mm. Well, here in El Salvador, I think all the um, all the related with the arts are not. mm,
Well paid?
yeah, but it's not just for the money. I think we don't have the culture. We don't have also the resources as a country, not
Mhm.
just um, me or my family, wherever. It's a country, so we
That's
don't
true.
have a career related with that kind of things. For example, in Costa Rica, they have a career for that, or countries like United States, London, they have it. So at the end of the day, it's not just for the money.
And that's true. It's pretty sad, but honestly, if you want to dedicate your life to art, I mean, you can find some schools that they can teach you some courses, but not as a career, not as a major. That is pretty sad. What else, guys? What do you want to be as a child? Uh-huh. Soccer
yeah,
player, astronaut. Uh-huh.
to be a doctor.
A doctor, really? That's difficult. And what happened? Why didn't you study that?
Growing up, and it was the time to choose the career. I
Mhm.
realized that the career was going to be quite expensive, and it was something that me or my family couldn't afford. So I picked another career.
All right. And actually, it's that's pretty sad too, right? It's very expensive. It's very long. And what do you think? Which one do you like more right now? Do you like the one that you picked, or do you still feel like, I wanted to be a doctor? Which one do you think that is the best decision?
Actually, I liked my career. Is is very good. I love to solve problems. Um, but sometimes I think that uh, what my life will be if I I I I I be a doctor. I don't know how to say
Mhm.
that. But I remember it takes a long time, and right now I am not. I don't want to take that long of my life to study another career.
Yeah, it's very long. I mean,
Now I can afford it, but it's very
you
long.
don't want to. It will be great if that mayor were like 5 years, right? I mean, that will be better, but 8 year or more, especially if you are working, it will take even more time. So if you see, guys, in these moments with these questions, basically what we are doing, we are just imagining situations in the past. And that is basically what we are going to study today. We are going to talk about the third conditional. And what is the third conditional? Well, it's basically when we are thinking about how the things will be different if we had made a different decision in the past, okay? Before checking the structure of the first conditional, on the third conditional, we need to study the structure of the past perfect, because this is something that we are going to use in the third conditional. So, do you remember the past perfect? Yes.
Yes.
All right. In the past perfect, basically, guys, what do we need first? I need the subject. What do I need next? Look. Had. That is going to be our helping verb. And after had, what do I need?
El past participle.
Correct. I need a verb in the past participle. Okay. And I need the complement. What happens if I want to say the sentence in negative? What do I need to do? Look, I just need to add not. And we can use contraction, that is the most common one, that is hadn't. For example, I hadn't eaten before the taxi arrived. So that is the structure of the past perfect. It's important that you keep in mind this because we are going to use this grammar tense, okay? So remember that when we are using past perfect, basically, guys, we are talking about actions before past actions. That means that we have an action in the past, something happened, and we have two past events. And we use the past perfect to show what happens first. For example, I arrived home and saw my dog had destroyed. Look, I have had, and then the verb in past participle. I had eaten dinner, so I wasn't hungry. Again, had, and then the verb in past participle. Understood? Yes? Is it clear, the structure of the past perfect?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if it is true. Remember, this is before the third conditional. I just want you to remember the structure of the past perfect. I'm going to show you some sentences. Give me the correct sentence in the past perfect. For example, her car didn't work on Monday because, let's create the past perfect sentence here. Forgot and gas. What will be the sentence in the past perfect? We can say she. What do I need next after the subject?
Have.
Had, and then forgotten to put gas, maybe, okay? Or to fill the tank. Now, he was very tired. Negative. What will be the sentence in the past perfect? He hadn't.
Well,
What is the past perfect?
Left.
Slept. Very good. So look, he was very tired. Why? Because he hadn't slept well the night before. Very good. So remember, if it is in negative, just add not. Okay, what about this one? His computer crashed. So why? Uh-huh.
because he had downloaded
Downloaded.
loaded a virus.
Good, very good. So in this grammar tense, it's pretty important, guys, to remember the verbs in past participle. If you don't remember the verbs in past participle, okay, you need to review them. Those are essential for this topic. Okay, she couldn't take a picture. Why? Uh-huh.
Because
She had
she had dropped the camera.
All right, she had dropped her camera. So if you see, these are sentences in the past perfect. As simple as that. Got it? Yes?
yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, now that we remember the structure of the past perfect, let's combine it with the third conditional. So we can use the past perfect to talk about unreal past events. That means just to talk about imaginary situations in the past. For example, she would pass the exam if she had studied harder. So did she study hard or not? In this sentence, what do you think? Did she study hard?
No.
No. Did she pass the exam?
No.
No. So basically, what is this? This is just something imaginary. It's a situation that could have happened. The next one, for example, if I had known you were sick, I would have visited you. Again, this is just imaginary situation. And basically, that is the function of the third conditional. Okay? There are two functions. First, to talk about imaginary situations in the past, or when we talk about regrets. That means like the first questions that we studied, when you had the opportunity to do something, but you didn't. So maybe you regret in the present. You are like, oh man, I wish I had. Okay? That is a function of the third conditional. So what will be the structure? Again, in the third conditional, we are going to need two clauses. That means two sentences. One sentence will have the word if, okay? That's the condition, if. The sentence with the word if will be in which grammar tense?
Past perfect.
Correct. So if she had run faster, then I need the second clause. The second clause is the imaginary result. What would happen? And in this case, pay a lot of attention here. We are going to need two important things. The first things that we are going to use is a modal, okay? There are three modals that we can use. We can use would, could, or might, okay? Why do we need those modals? Because we are talking about possibilities, okay? We are talking about imaginary situations. After the modals, the second things that I need is the structure, basically like in the present perfect. I need the auxiliary have, and after have, I need the verb in past participle. So if she had run faster, she would have won the race. So this is the condition, and this is the possibility. This is what would have happened. In this case, would have, when we are speaking, we can contract it, and we can say like this. Would have. Would have. Or if it is could have. Could have. In the case of might, we could say might have, but honestly, might we don't use to contract it, only with would and could. So, understood the structure? Yes, a little bit?
Clear.
Okay, let's see again. In which scenarios can I use the third conditional? Mm-hmm.
Wait, can you repeat the question?
Which scenarios can I use the third conditional?
When you're talking for action, about an action that you would have like past in the past.
Mm-hmm. And what else? Everybody?
When we want to talk about imaginary past situations.
Correct.
And what
And
could be happen in the present, or I think in the present, right?
yeah, that's it. So look, to talk about imaginary past situations, something that we would like to do, but I mean, we cannot do it anymore because it's in the past. So we can talk about regrets. So those are the scenarios when we are talking about third conditional. Important. In this scenario, guys, in the third conditional, we are just talking about the past. If you remember, the first conditional and the second conditional is for future, things that we would like to do in the future. In the third conditional is not about the future. It's about the past. Okay? Again, I need two clauses. The first clause with the word if is going to be in which grammar tense? Mm-hmm. What is this? Present perfect?
No.
Past participle.
Past perfect.
Past, that is the one. So that is something that you have to remember, okay? The clause with if is in the past perfect. And the other clause, what are the three modals that you can use? Look. Would, could, might. And after that, you follow the structure as in the present perfect. Have, and then the verb in past participle. Now, there are some people that they can use different modals like should have, and it's okay as longer as you follow the correct structure. It is not so common, but it depends on the context. Now, I'm going to show you some pictures. Let's create the correct conditional sentence. Don't forget the structure, okay? So let's see. Look at this one. If, be careful, not break. So which of these clauses need to be in the past perfect? The first or the second one? The past perfect?
I think the first one.
Okay. And what will be the sentence in the past perfect? It, be careful.
If he would have been careful,
Would,
mm,
rem-
no, no, yeah. If he had been,
uh-huh.
if he had been careful,
Mm-hmm.
the plate, the plate would have not break,
Break.
broken. Broken.
Okay. So look at this one. Could. If he had been careful. So remember, the clause with the word if is the one in the past perfect. Okay. In this case, the subject is he. If he had been careful, what would have been the result? That he wouldn't have broken the plate. Okay? The second action is the one with the modal. And as I was mentioning, look, you can use contraction and you can say wouldn't have. Now, look at the next picture. If study more, not fail. What do you think? What will be the sentence in the past perfect?
If he had studied more, he would not fail.
He would?
Not fail.
Okay. It's missing only one thing.
Have.
Ah, very good. The second clause. He wouldn't
Have failed.
have failed. That's the one. Exactly. If he had studied more, he wouldn't have failed. Don't forget that in the second clause, we need modal and then have and then the verb in past participle. Now, look at the next one. If trained more, won. What would be the sentence here?
If they had trained more, they would have won.
Okay, do you agree, guys?
Yes.
Very good. If they had trained more, so we got past perfect, verb in past participle, they would have won the game, for example. Remember, we can contract it. We can say they would have. They would have won. Very good. Okay, what about this one? What would be the sentence?
If the flight, if flight not canceled. If they had not, if they, no, if flight had not canceled, we would have gone to wedding.
All right. Do you agree, guys? If flight had not canceled, we would have gone to the wedding. Yes? All right. Good sentence is just missing something. That is the verb been. if the flight hadn't been canceled. Okay, that's the only detail that it was missing. I would have gone to the wedding, or we would have gone to the wedding. Excellent. So remember, guys, two things that you have to do. The sentence with if is in the past perfect. And the other clause is going to have the modal, then have, and then the verb in past participle. Okay? The last one. What do you think? If, communicate more, stay together. What do you think?
If they had communicated more, they would have stayed together.
All right. If they had communicated more, they would have stayed together. Pretty good job. So this is the structure that we need to follow if we want to create the third conditional. Again, if you see, guys, this is just to talk about the past, imaginary situations in the past, or regrets about the past. In these moments, we are not talking about the future or the things that we would like to be different in the future. No, this is just about the past. Is it clear? Yes, everyone? Do you have any questions so far?
No, teacher.
No?
Clear.
Okay, so let's have more practice. I'm going to show you some sentences. Give me the correct answer, but now I will be asking individually, okay? So let's start with the first sentence. The first sentence is for Michelle. So Michelle, can you read the sentence, please?
If you had trained more, you wouldn't have lost so easily.
Okay, everybody, what do you think? Is that correct? Yes, look, I have the past perfect here. That's great. And I have the conditional here. I have would, the modal, yes. I have, and then the verb in past participle. Very good job. Okay, the next sentence is for David. Okay, David, read it, please.
Okay. When we wouldn't have spent all the money if you wouldn't have insist on going to that boutique.
Okay, wouldn't have insisted. Okay, insisted. Pretty good, pretty good. The next sentence is for Fernando. Fernando, go ahead.
If you had told me that you were having problems, I could have helped.
All right, I could have helped you. In this case, be careful, guys, because I have would help, but in will help, we are not using have. If you use this one, it's not third conditional anymore, okay? So the correct one is could have helped. Very good. Okay, number 4, Paola.
If I would, no, wait. If I had known that she was in town, I would call her.
Cool. Now, important, if you remember, guys, every time that we are going to talk about conditionals, we can switch the order of the sentences. We can start the sentence with the if clause, or we can start the sentence with the would clause. Okay? The order doesn't affect the structure. Okay? Now, in the next exercise, well, this is pretty easy. Now, in this exercise, I want you to create the full sentence. For example, you have to decide which sentence will be in the past perfect and which sentence is the conditional. I'm going to give you one sentence, each one again. The first one will be for Fernando. The second one will be for David. And the next will be for Michelle. So guys, when you got the answer ready, let me know.
The first one, I think, if we had the money,
If we had the money,
we would or could, like whatever, have gone to the store.
we would have gone like this.
Yes.
Don't forget have. Okay, if we had the money, we would have gone. What do you think, guys? Do you agree? Yes or not? If I had, do you think, Fernando, is that the past perfect? Or is that simple past? If we had the money.
The money.
Remember, in the past perfect, what is the structure? I need the subject, I have the subject. What do I need next? I need had. And what do I need next? The verb in past participle. What is the past participle of have? Had. So look, I know that it looks a little bit weird, but it's correct. We can say, if we had the money, what will be the translation in this sentence? If we had.
Si hubiéramos tenido.
Correct, exactly. So these verbs are together, but with a different translation. Had is working as the verb haber, and the second had is working as the verb tener. So it's a little bit different. So this is the third conditional. If we had the money, we would have gone. Very good. Okay, David, Michelle.
Me.
Okay.
We will have brought some snacks.
Okay.
If you had told us about the picnic.
What do you think, guys? Is that correct? We would have brought some snacks if you had told us. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, totally. That's correct. Pretty good job. David?
I had tidied up the house if I would have known that you were coming.
Would have known that you were coming. Okay, what do you think, guys? I had it tidied up the house if I would have known that you were coming. It is something important that you have to remember. Is that correct? Yes?
Yes.
Are you sure? With your life?
Yes.
I'm not sure because I understood that when we use if, we have to use had the past participles.
Exactly, the past perfect. And that's what you have to be careful with. Remember, guys, the clause with the word if is the one in the past perfect. Okay, if you see the first sentence, if, past perfect. If, and then past perfect. So the sentence with the clause if is in past perfect. And remember, we can switch the order. Sometimes the sentence with if can be at the beginning, or sometimes it can be at the end, but the structure will be the same. So in this case, if I, what will be the sentence here? Would have known?
Have known.
If I had known.
Exactly. Look, if I had known that you were coming, so what is the imaginary situation? Would have tidied up the house. So don't forget that. The sentence with if, that's the one in the past perfect. Understood that? Yes? I'm going to give more sentences. The next one, it's for Paola. Okay.
Okay.
And the next one is going to be for Arismendi. Okay, when you're ready.
Obviously, if my parents had not met, had not met. I think it's met.
Met.
Yeah, met.
Yes.
Had not met. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have born.
I wouldn't have
Born.
born.
Yeah.
But what happens with the verb be?
Oh, I wouldn't have been born.
Important, guys. These verbs are like always together. Okay, when we are talking about when I was born, or I was born in 1999, for example, so the verb to be and born, they go together. Okay, so look, I had the sentence if, and I had past perfect. Pretty good. Be careful with the pronunciation. Meet is in present. Met is the pronunciation in past or in past participle. And then the conditional. I wouldn't have, and then the verb in past participle. Been. Pretty good. Okay, Arismendi, you ready?
Yes. And if he had invested in that business, he would have lost everything.
All right, everybody, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, totally. Pretty good job. Okay, I need a volunteer for the number 6. What do you think?
If the police had not been nearby, there would have been many more victims.
Okay, everybody, is that correct?
Yes.
Totally. Look, if. Remember, every time that we have if, you have to remember, that is in the past perfect. And then the next clause is the imaginary situation, the possibility, what would have happened. Now, the next one, number 7. If you see the number 7 is a question, so what will be the answer here?
What will you
Okay, what would you
do? I'm not sure.
Remember the conditional. I need the modal, I need have, I need the verb in past participle.
What will have you do?
Have you do, or what would you have
Have done.
Ah, look.
Have done.
So pay attention in the question. What would you have done? Okay. And if you sentence in past participle, I mean in past perfect.
Have been.
Have been.
Okay. What would you have done if you had been in that situation? This is a very common question, actually. Sometimes you are talking about something, a person is telling you about a mistake that they made, and it's like, oh man, so tell me, what would you have done in my situation? Or what would you have done if you had been in my situation? It's a very common question. Okay, number 8. Volunteer, please. And we finish with that because we don't have more time. Uh-huh.
The police wouldn't have catch.
Catch? Like
Yeah.
this?
Yes. Yes. I'm not sure if the past participle form, but catch.
How?
Catch him if
Catch.
he wouldn't. No, if he hadn't made that little mistake.
Okay. The structure is great, but this is not the correct past participle form. Anyone?
Catch.
Yes. So be careful, please. Caught. So that's great. This is the structure that you have to remember, everyone. My friendly recommendation is to review a little bit the verbs in past participle, just in order to keep it a little bit refresher in your mind. Do you have any questions so far about this structure?
Not true.
No? Easy or difficult? What do you think?
A little difficult because
little bit.
Yeah.
the structure is confusing sometimes.
I know, but no worries. Tomorrow we are going to practice a little bit more this topic, so please don't forget to connect to the class. In the platform, you will have some exercises about it, so keep practicing, okay? Now, we are going to stop right here because we don't have more time. Guys, have a wonderful day, have a good week, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Goodbye, see you.